Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gerardo and today we are going to be looking at this National Geographic solar powered moon buggy. So the things that we are going to be looking at are the different parts of the moon buggy, how I started building it, and some facts about them, and maybe more. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at are the different parts of the moon buggy. So the first part is the high gain antenna, and right next to it is the TV camera. So when it's on the moon, it records. And right behind it, if you can see, it's very small. Hopefully you can see it. Not this camera, but if it's a camera, but this one. This is a big moon buggy, so I think astronauts can ride on it. So this one is the low gain antenna, and over here is this solar powered panel. So if you put it in the sun, it starts to ride, and later on in the video, I will show you guys how it moves without you having to touch it like a normal toy car. And the next thing is a stowage bag, which I took off because I'm going to show you guys the different parts inside of this little box of wood. And I'm going to show you guys all the gears, which makes it move, because all of that happens right on the back. Okay, so let's start looking at that. So over here, there's lots of gears. There's lots and lots, not lots and lots, but there's 4 to 5 gears. And right on top is a motor. And right on top of that is the solar panel. So how this moves is when this gets hit by sun, the solar panel, it doesn't see the light as sun, but when, like in the daytime, when it gets hit directly by the sun, like right on it, it's connected with the wire to the motor. So like that, both of them work together. And inside of the motor, there's a gear. And so when the sun hits the solar panel, the gear starts to spin, because something that's inside of the motor makes it spin. And so that's part of the stuff that helps it move, because that gear goes down until it hits another gear, which makes that spin. And then so right behind that, right behind it, it's like 2 gears in one. There's another gear. So there's a metal thing that connects the 2 wheels together, the back wheels, and that has another gear. There's a lot of gears, so that's connected to the wheels. When all those gears touch each other, very good, it starts to move, and so the wheels start to move, which pushes the front wheels, and that's how it starts to move. And this high gain antenna also starts to move. And if you guys can see, it broke. So I started off building the most important part, the back, because it's the part that makes it move. So I started with that, and then I slowly started making this camera, and then after that I started making the antenna, and this part, which I'm going to be talking about a bit in this video because it took a while to make it. So let's go into the instructions, and I'm going to show you guys how I made the back part. So I started off by making these walls, if you guys can see, because it's right next to the wheel. So I started making those. So those wheels had a lot of parts connected to it. So let's say, so you had to find the parts in these little big wooden rectangles. So you had to look for the letter There's like A, B, C, and D. I think up to D. And then so you had to look for the letter. You had to look for the number, which I think I struggled with the B because you really used the letter B a lot. And then so after that, you had to find the number. So, and then you had to keep doing that until you find all the parts to make it one. So, for example, if I needed A25, it says on the instructions, whenever I would need A25, I would look for it. I would look for the letter. This is A. And then I would look for the number. So, this is A7, A9, A1, A34, A33. But I have to look directly at A25. And so, this is A25, this rectangle. So after that, and it came like multiple in one letter number. So I started making the walls, and it took a while to look for the parts because it's a lot. So I started making the walls, and I started putting all the parts inside, like all the floors inside. And on the very top where the motor is, there was something round, and that's where you put the motor inside. And then there was a hole like on that floor, which was where the gear sticked in. So that's how it made all that move. And then this, if you're wondering how it sticks without it falling if you flip it over, because it's sticky from the back. And I'm gonna clear my voice. And so that's how I made that. And then I also had to find a way to make it like at the perfect height to connect it with the other wall without the other stuff falling off or being too high or too low to fit in the other hole. So after that, I started making the antenna, which looks like you would make in probably like less than 3 minutes. But no, it probably took a bit of time to make it because this broke. I think I already told you guys that. It broke. So there's more than one of these, but I didn't add them or else they were going to break too. And also this circle part, that broke in half. But the way it broke still lets it stick. So that's how it's still together. I didn't glue it or anything. It's still together. So that took me a while. And the part that probably took me the most to make was probably this part, because it looks like something that you would probably make in less than a minute, but no, I spent like 10 minutes having to shave it because these circles didn't fit in. So it came with sandpaper, which was very thin, so I had to keep doing that like for like 10 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes, probably like 10 minutes, and then I had to keep doing that until the first one fit good. So then the second one went in perfectly, like there it just slipped in. But the last one that I needed to put in, because there's one that's just a circle, there's a second one which makes this move, and then there's the last one, the same one as the first one. And then it fit perfectly because it was at the very top, which was getting shaved the most. And then, so when I put the very last one, if I flipped it over, it fell off. And everything like fell apart. So I had to find a way to not glue it. Okay. So then, it's very funny how I got it not to fall off anymore. So earlier, I was testing it out because I was already done with it. So I was testing the moon buggy out. And then, so I was in the grass, and then it went flying off. It went flying off. So I thought that, oh no, it's not gonna work anymore because I don't have it. Though it would probably still work, but it would like go launching. It would fall off, and I was like, oh, it's not gonna work anymore because I lost the part. But then I remembered that on the B there was an extra one. There was an extra B5. I don't think I can find it. But there was an extra B5, so I was very lucky. And I put it on, and it doesn't fall off anymore. So it was very funny how I got it to work. So something bad became something good. So then after that, I think I started building this camera. Or I think I built the camera first before the antenna. So this front TV camera, that's what it's called. So that's the next thing I started building. So that, it wasn't so hard. Yeah, it wasn't that hard. Because the only thing you had to do was look for the parts, which they were on just like one of these rectangles. And then just slide them in. And then finally put this part in. And then put these bottom parts in. And then I think I was done. Because I think I did this just that first. Then the next step was to make the bottom part and connect it. So that camera was pretty easy to make. So then after that, so head on the instructions. So after that, after I was done making that, I started making I think it was this over the bottom. So that's when I started making like all the bottom part, which was, I was very excited that I got to that part, because that was what was gonna make it look like a moon buggy. So, because it's like basically the whole thing. So after I added all the stuff, so that was probably the part that took the longest, like in separately. But in one, I think the part that took me the most was this stick part. That's how hard it was. And then, so I started adding, oh no, that wasn't the part that took the most. The part that took the most, so I started adding like this stuff to the wheels. And then when I got to this part, that took me like half an hour or an hour to make 4 of these. Because, so I had to put them in, and then lastly I had to put these other ones in. So I had to, so first I had this middle one. So then I started putting them in, which is very easy. But then I had to get other ones and had to make them very equal to put them in. And some are not even put in perfectly, because look at this one sticking out. And so that was probably, and I had to do it 4 times. So it took me probably at least an hour to make. So after that, I started to make the back, which I took off right here, which was actually pretty fun to make. And so then from there, I started making the wheels. Yeah, I think I started making the wheels. And this was another part that I didn't really understand. And it was to put this orange part in, but I didn't put it on because I didn't really understand it. But I mean, it still moves like that, so it still worked without it. But I didn't put it on. So just imagine all of this not on, and just this, and then the bottom part. Just imagine just that on here. I had other stuff done, but it was just that was on, like the bottom part. So which was already connected to the moon buggy. So then after that, I started making the rest of the stuff, and then I was done. So now I'm going to read to you guys a paragraph of some information of moon buggy. It's a moon buggy learning guide. So I'll read you guys probably like 3 paragraphs of this. I couldn't finish it. Okay. Or I'll read you guys this first page, and then if you guys want to read all of the information, you could get the solar powered moon buggy from National Geographic. Okay, so lunar exploration. The space race began on October 4th, 1957, when the Soviet Union launched the Sputnik 1 satellite into orbit around the Earth. And it didn't take long for the World Space Agency to turn their attention to Earth's fascinating companion, the moon. So NASA, it didn't take them long to notice the moon. In the next 2 decades, 3 separate space programs sent unmanned orbiters and probes to the moon. Luna, which was one space program, Ranger, which was the second, and Surveyor, I think that's how you pronounce it. These missions photographed the moon, mapped its surface, scouted out landing sites for future missions, and searched for water, among other things. So they were looking for water on the moon. The Apollo program ended in December 1972, after landing a dozen men on the lunar surface and collecting 838 pounds of moon rock for analysis on Earth. The Apollo missions also brought cars to the moon, though scientists prefer to call them lunar roving vehicles. So that's another name for moon buggies. Lunar roving vehicles, and for short is LRVs. So that's it for today. And if you guys want to see other videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye, and thank you for watching.